Hopefully there's a couch or something similar. Or we can all lay on our futons like this.
I kind of wanted to do each video in a different place, like out by the park or something, but
the Wall of Timit.
But we have the Wall of Timit.
I like the Wall of Timit. It makes like story time really fun. And what you could do is you could cut our audio.
I will be
our audio
to our
pictures.
videos.
Yeah,
I'm going to because I have my fingers in a lot of the video.
Yeah, I had that problem too.
All right, and go.
So we got to Studio 109, and Jameson was having like major panic attacks.
I was so done. Shibuya is way too crowded for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we crossed the Shibuya.
Also, it smells like ass.
crossing.
Well, I think it was like a sewage smell. Honestly, is what it is.
That's what comes out of your ass, Jameson.
Yes.
And I'm
But,
okay
like,
with
it's
being
a city
dragged to
smell.
one or two malls. However, if I can't look at anything, I get really annoyed really fast. And as I am a very large woman, there is nothing. Like, the purse shop was kind of fun, and the shoe shop was kind of fun, but every clothing store we passed, it's like, there's no hope.
It's just wall-to-wall people.
And
Hey,
they usually only have one size of things, I noticed. They have one size, and if you don't, like, even I don't fit most of it because my chest is too big and my hips are too wide.
Mm-hmm. We just, out of luck. So Jameson and I were really done with 109 the moment we walked in.
Yeah.
So we were like, we can do this one floor, but then we would like to go.
absolutely.
So we did the one floor, and we walked out, and they asked where we'd like to go, and I was like, well, I would really like to see the Meiji Temple.
Yeah.
And so we walked 17 minutes to this huge temple area. Now, it had this big Torah gate that was kind of light brown, and there's so many trees, and the trees like cut off all sound to the city.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk in, and I got really disgusted really fast. And nobody else knew why I was disgusted. But I got really disgusted because there's all these tourists, and they're walking in the middle of the road. And in traditional Shinto, because I'm a folklore nerd, the middle of the road is for the gods. You're supposed to walk on one side or the other. And so, like, me and my little nerdy hell is freaking out about this a little bit. But overall, the walk was just serene and pretty, and I loved the trees. I think the walking part was my favorite part on the way to the temple.
It was mine.
Mm-hmm.
It was so calming.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing because you're right in the middle of the city. You're in Shibuya, and it's just packed. And you go into the temple, and you're in nature.
You can't hear anything.
You can't hear the city. There's what did we say? There's 100,000 trees on
planted
the
in that area. 100,000. Like, reading the plaque, there's 100,000 trees in this temple area to block out sound. Now, you do hear a lot of birds, but that's what you expect of a forest.
We heard wildlife, and it's like edge to edge old growth forest that's been there for hundreds of years, or like 100 years, right? Because Meiji Temple is 1920-ish.
Well, the temple itself was older, but the area
The grounds
is 1920.
were all established around 1920, so it's a 100-year-old forest in the middle of the city, and
It's the burial place of the emperor during the Meiji period, who is huge for restoration. So
Emperor Meiji and Emperor Shoken.
Good job. So it was really fascinating because we saw all this art on sake barrels as we passed. Like, different provinces had donated these sake barrels of sake to the shrine grounds. We didn't pray. We didn't do any of that. We felt that would be disrespectful. Also, we did not wash our hands or mouths, so we couldn't pray even if we wanted to, because before you go to pray at the temple, you're supposed to wash your left hand, then your right hand, and then wash your mouth out, so you're cleansed to pray. We did do fortunes, which was really, really fun. I think we all got the fortune that we needed for the day.
And I have that film, so I'll put that in here as well.
So it was pretty neat there. And then we walked out towards Harajuku.
We were all getting really hungry and tired.
Yeah.
But I still needed to see it, and they were good enough to take me to Harajuku, which was, I didn't realize how small it was. Like, it is just a little neighborhood or a little district, but I loved it.
Harajuku needs to be Jesse and Jameson.
Yeah.
Because they're the two who really liked it. So we're going to switch one more time.
You're the other cook. Will you please do it?
Nah.
It's a Jesse
Babysitting?
Jameson thing.
Harajuku is definitely Jesse, don't lie.
And Jameson really liked it too. Go, Jess.
So it was pretty cool. We didn't really look at anything before we got to eat because we were so hungry, did we? We kind of glanced through the shops, but we were mostly looking for a food place.
We were making a beeline towards. I think we had found it on.
We had searched
Google
the
Maps
type of
first,
food we wanted.
yeah.
What was it?
Okonomiyaki.
Yeah.
So, and like it led us through. You kind of go off the main street into just like
back alleys.
Back alleys that you can't you'd think you can't get a car into the back alleys, but there was a taxi making like an 11-point turn.
He was driving well, but he wasn't in a good situation.
He was driving. He was super polite. Like he stopped and like let us through because these streets are seriously like these alleys are only like. The streets are only like 7 feet across, and this poor guy was trying
one
to
inch
take
at a
someone.
time, like backing in different directions. And I don't know how you even got down there. It's within.
So, and it led us. We thought like it was just gonna be a restaurant, and there was gonna be like a door and go in, to this building. And I think there were like a bunch of.
Look like a
there
building.
was a sign for the restaurant, and
there was a sign for the restaurant.
So I asked the delinquents, like, where is this place? And they're like, oh, back here. And they like moved to the side slightly, and there's like a doorway that's this wide.
It wasn't even that wide because my shoulders didn't fit through it.
It was a literal. We call it a hole in the wall place. It was a literal hole in the wall. There wasn't actually a door.
No.
It was a cut out hole in the wall that you went through. And like Kayla said, delinquents. There were like these 15-year-old kids smoking out back
cigarettes.
of it. Yeah.
They told us to have fun.
They told us they were seriously like, hey, have fun. And we go kind of you go through the hole in the wall and you go into like this little bar area. Where there was one like little kitchen, it was mainly a bar, and there was a few people having drinks.
They weren't thrilled to see us. We weren't greeted.
No, they weren't. It's like a locals place. I think we were
maybe invading a little, but no, there were a lot of foreigners in there.
There were.
We had Jameson and I joked a little bit about how any like really good hole in the wall like food place has really shitty staff.
Oh yeah,
because you can afford to, because people come back for the food.
No, but so we go past this little bar, and then there's this little walkway. Past all these art galleries and like these little private
students had made the art.
Yeah, it was all student art, and there were like these little private art studios, and you go back into the actual restaurant, and like we didn't even know where to sit down.
Yeah.
Right away.
They just let us wait, and then they came over like when basically
they just looked at us like, what the hell are you doing?
They're like, over there. Let's go.
Yeah, so we go and we sit down, and so an okonomiyaki place has got like, there's the table and there's a little flat top grill in the center of the table.
Which they turn on right away for us.
Yeah, which they turn on right away so it can get hot, and you make your own okonomiyaki. So we're sitting and we're waiting, and like to call the staff, you have to press this button.
They seemed bothered by it.
Yeah, they expect you to press the button to get your attention, and then they seem irritated.
Maybe we were just reading it wrong, but I felt like they were not happy to see us.
No, but again, like we mentioned before,
it's expected.
Some of the best food you will ever find is in these divey little out of the way places
with staff that like don't care.
Places like that get by exclusively on the quality of the food. The staff can be as mean as they want, and people will keep coming back. Like there's no expectation of
you don't come there for the
good
staff.
service or good ambiance. You come there for the food.
Mm-hmm. I immediately ordered sake, like cold sake, because my feet hurt, and it was great. And my feet did not hurt, and I was sort of drunk within. So I drank all of it. You took a while.
I sipped on it. You just crushed your little
alcohol.
It was very good sake, by the way.
It was really
I think
good.
It's better sake than I've had before in the States.
And Katie got a Sakura Blossom lemonade. It was pink. It was really good looking, and it was good. I had some. And then Kayla What did you get? It wasn't
Apricot.
sake. What was it?
An apricot fruit liqueur.
An apricot fruit liqueur. That was actually really good too. I just had a sip of that. Yeah, and then we had to cook while I was kind of tipsy.
So we're all sitting around this little grill, and we're trying to mix up our
Ingredients. It's
okonomiyaki
like a
and
bunch
put
of
them on the grill, and
veggies.
we could only really fit 2 at once.
Oh, we go back to our mistakes as white people. Again, we ordered way too much food.
Yeah.
We could have shared those.
We could have probably shared 2 orders and
Yeah,
been fine,
all 4 of us,
because
'cause they're big.
they were big. I thought it was gonna be like little flat
What?
pancake. They were like
Yeah.
over an inch thick.
Yeah, no, there's too much. It's too much. Yeah, we mixed it all up. We had to watch Kayla. We mixed it all up, and then you just, from my understanding, I make the bowl into a mess, and then I flip the bowl onto the hot stuff and like wriggle it out of the bowl, and then I smash it like I'm mad at it, and then I put meat on it, and then I just forget about it.
Then you flatten it out and you put your pork on one side, and then you flip it, and then
Forget about it. Then you shogunai.
you like scramble an egg and flatten an egg out, and then flip it back onto the egg.
Yeah, it's a lot of the hardest part of cooking, which is flipping things without breaking it.
It's practice. Just
You broke yours.
I know. I say that. I lost like all of my cred as a cook because I totally just butchered mine.
I think Kayla's and Jesse's turned out the best.
Yeah.
First time, last time, we decided we don't like octopus in our kokiyaki.
Mine didn't have octopus. You would have been fine.
Yeah.
What?
Katie ordered it was like avocado and
Pork.
I would have liked that more. But I did enjoy it, and then we slathered it in mayonnaise and some brown sauce.
Yeah, and it's the
It's really
okonomiyaki sauce, so it's like a
Okonomiyaki
reduced kind.
sauce.
So,
Fuck.
Huh?
They're laughing because I don't know how to say anything in Japano. Japano. Then I just remember having a really nice sparkly walk through Harajuku at night because I was drunk a little bit, and we looked at like weird shirts, and we found a bag.
Bullshit crepes.
Oh my god.
Bullshit crepes.
oh, those were awful.
Wait, let's
So-
have you guys, you and Jameson now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm shy and done. Okay, bye.
Alright.
Goodbye, Jameson.
Goodbye, Jameson.
Huh? No.
No, stay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright.
So
Let's talk about bullshit Japanese crepes.
Do
So
it.
we've
or I
all
was
seen
gonna
it.
kind of segue into it, unless
Nah,
no.
I'm on a thing. So
She's on a
once
thing.
we got out of the place, the okonomiyaki place, we were like, okay, we'll walk back through Harajuku and get these crepes. Because they're the crepes you see in like every anime where they're like have cream and fruit and like sauce on them and
Little
it looks
tiny
so
spoons.
good and tiny spoons. And we're like, okay, we want to do that. So we walk into Harajuku for a bit, realize the crepe place we were going to go to was closed. So we go back out to the one on the road, right? Well, I take pictures of all the ones, because, like, I know the basic words for food, but, like, there's so many crepes that are so like each other that I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to tell them which one I want. So I just take photos of the things everybody wants, go order them.
And
It's
the
fine.
menu was like the type that's the plastic models of
The
all the
beautiful,
food that are really
beautiful.
pretty.
Yeah, Jameson was like,
Yeah.
there's a specific like
No,
artistry
no,
that goes
there's an
into
art
this.
to making fake food.
I want to
for sure.
do it.
There's a place where it's like, that's all they do is they make fake model food. But so we ordered these crepes and we're super excited. So I ordered one that looks like it's got like bananas and strawberries and like flan on it, which I was like, tiny flan, yeah, right? So we get these crepes. And the crepe thing is about yay tall with all the cream and the shit in it, right? But it's wrapped in this paper, so number one, it's hard to eat. You can't just stick your face in it. And it has a mountain of whipped cream on the top. It's like yay big that you have to eat through before you can even get to anything else.
Yeah,
Right,
you can't
so
really
you have
get to the
to-
crepe right away.
It'll fall over.
Yeah. So you have to eat your way through this useless amount of whipped cream. The bananas were okay because they're bananas. The flan was weird.
It had no flavor.
It had no
It was
flavor. It
gelatin.
was just like, it's like, what did I put in my mouth? I'm not sure. And the strawberries were like
Fermented.
preserved, like fermented. They were not good. So basically, you just have this mountain of sugar, And when you finally get through it, there's nothing in there that you really want to eat.
Actually, and it's just all whipped cream all the way down the rest. There's like a couple bites of
I gave it to
strawberries.
Jessie and I was like, I am done with this.
Ours-
It was like pure fluff.
Ours had strawberries and cheesecake, and the cheesecake portion was good,
Yeah.
but the rest of it, like
Yeah,
even
just
the crepe,
the cheesecake
was
portion
awful.
tasted like cheesecake. Cheesecake is great, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just pure sugary.
The
The
first
kind
bite,
of whipped cream that just kind of tastes like filler.
yeah.
It's not even like good
Yeah.
whipped cream. It's not like good creamy.
The first
berry
bite was good.
flavor.
Yeah, that's. So what I learned from that was Japanese parfait, good. Japanese crepe, not good. Okonomiyaki, okay, but you can throw the octopus out the window.
I like octopus. That's kind of an acquired taste, though.
He's
Yeah.
a weirdo.
I like a lot of weird things.
I had to pee
I
really
like
bad.
raw oysters.
I had
so
to pee
whatever.
really bad, and Kayla had to ask where I could go pee, and then we had to run up 3 flights of stairs, which is really hard, and we
In
had
a
to pee
different
really
building,
bad.
like we're in one store and I'm like, do you have a bathroom? And she's like, no bathroom. And she points to this other building like across the way and she's like, 3rd floor. And I was like, okay. And we tell Katie and Jameson to like wait here.
In this
And
weird store.
Jesse and I go through this like little building that's essentially a tiny mall on its own, but horrifically pink.
Everything was pink.
Everything was like Sanrio, Hello Kitty hot pink.
Yep, my bladder and my eyes
Ridiculous.
were in hell. I just ran all the way up to the top of
So,
this building.
Jameson, what was the store we walked around
Yeah,
while they were running
yeah.
around?
So the store we walked, I don't even know how to describe it.
Talk about what home goods were
So
when we found the home goods section.
and
like Home
there
Depot.
were different sections and they were labeled. There was, I still don't know what the store is. Like
What
they
its purpose
they
was.
had some accessory shit. Like there were some purses and stuff like that. There was an entire wall of like designer Band-Aids. So there were little boxes of Band-Aids and one like the box. It was a box of cupcake shaped Band-Aids, or like it was all these
I
different
would've been
things.
into that.
To see that?
yeah.
Yeah, and then we go through and what was right next to the home goods thing that was just really weird.
Cosmetics.
Stuff? There was cosmetics.
Oh,
I might have to tell this part
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
so
you're gonna-
ridiculous.
sit by
I have to tell this
Jameson.
part because I don't remember quite all.
I'm
of
safe.
we had a big day. This is a long video.
So, while Jesse is in bathroom hell and Kayla's racing up 3 flights of pink, Jameson and I walk into this store that I was like, this looks kind of interesting. We walk in, and at first I thought it was a clothing shop because there's a straightway. I didn't notice there was a huge warehouse section in the back.
Yeah, I remember there being like lots of shoes and stuff in the front.
Yeah, so we go through and I'm like, oh, it has like Sailor Moon t-shirts and that sort of thing in like real people sizes is the key. Not that the Japanese aren't real people, but like their extra large would have fit me. Okay.
They're like 3/4 of a person.
Yeah, would have fit me okay. So
Not in spirit, just in
It's
size.
just in
so the first
and
thing
at this point, I was like, "Oh God, here we go," because I was so done shopping.
So
at
the
this
first
point.
thing that I see as I walk in is there's also a little side corner where they have all these bunny hats with air compression things.
Oh, the ones that
So
wait.
yeah, so you
stick up.
squeeze.
Their little paws, their ears
Yeah,
stick
you
up.
squeeze their little paws and the ears go like
That's the
this.
shop where they got them.
Yeah.
And there were also the big, like, at Lagoon, the sunglasses, the big fuzzy sunglasses on that same wall. So I was like, okay, this might be a little weirder than I thought. And we keep going, and it opens up into this big warehouse section that kind of looks like a Nordstrom rack, except in neon.
Yeah.
Maybe just.
Sorry.
Okay.
We're loud
Except in neon. And the neon is like small child Lisa Frank neon. It's not like normal people.
Neon is a
neon.
thing. That's a thing. Yeah.
Like it's
I
not like
think
it's
neon
not like
includes normal people.
it's not like hunter orange. It's like we scalped a rainbow leopard orange.
Aw.
So I walk in and I keep walking forward and there's this wall, as Jameson said, of designer Band-Aids shaped in like 80 different foods.
I really would have liked
Like,
those.
and it was easily,
I
it
would've
was
bought some.
easily 6 feet tall. Like, it's just food Band-Aids.
Yeah, like 4 feet by 7 feet.
Of food Band-Aids.
like edge to edge, just different boxes of Band-Aids.
And we passed some cute. So like on one side it was like all cute clothes, and the other side it was like hobby goods, like weird things. So we go over to the hobby goods section because I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
And we're just killing time.
We're killing time waiting for Jesse and Kayla, and I walk by like all these neat socks, and they're all like character socks, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. And we get to their like the other wall in the warehouse, and it says home goods. And I look at the home goods, and the whole home goods section is animal hats that are about 4 times the size they need to be.
So I think what probably happened was like, because the sign was in English, so they probably didn't know what the sign meant and just put it up.
But it said home goods, and the hats, like there was a giant duck hat that was easily 3 times the size of my head.
So then like the thing I thought was really weird was right next to the giant hats there was a bunch of like construction foam. There was like a bag of construction foam numbers like you'd expect to find in an arts and crafts store.
And it said cosmetics.
And it said cosmetics. And I'm like, weird cosmetics, or whatever.
And so they had like these giant hats and then these numbers from the arts and crafts store. And then at the bottom there were all of these like sparkly pom-poms. Like, again, like you find at the dollar store in America, but they were at least 3 times the size they needed to be.
Why, these aren't home goods at all.
No, I was baffled because they were neither home goods or cosmetics. And then we walked a little further, and they had another wall that said makeup, buy the home goods and cosmetics, and there was actually makeup under the makeup one. So I was sitting here going, why? Why? You have a cosmetic, what? Why you have makeup and I don't understand. Like, it really was one of those moments where just, it was too much for my English brain. Like,
I saw an owl cafe and a puppy cafe in Harajuku. They were all closed by the time we were going through. But like, yeah, there's just a bunch of weird clothes, and Katie got some really cute like Shiba dog bags. I think that's all we did.
Yeah, that's.
And then we were.
The Shiba
That's
bag
another
was
thing where I
really
realized
cute.
they really like to use the word fucking with stars, because like there was this one that was a t-shirt that was a teddy bear, but you could see its skeleton in there, and it's like, fucking skeleton teddy shirts. I'm just like, God, why did they put like a couple of those shirts just have like super puffy paint fabric, just magenta? Fuck.
But it's always like FXXK.
Nope, I saw some fuck
Or
shirts.
Did
That
they
actually
say
said
fuck?
I saw a couple fuck shirts.
There was one thing I saw that was it was a baseball cap, and it was the design of the KFC logo, but it was FCK, which I just thought was kind of
worth it.
kind of hilarious.
Was that the
Who's
day?
CK and what did he do?
Was
to
this
you?
the day that
FCK.
was this the same day we found the park?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we did that in the morning.
We
Yeah.
we went. We
The
got
whole day.
got
Yeah.
up too early, and
Mm.
then we went venturing. I wanted to see these
backtrack.
stairs. Yeah, sorry.
Katie also was up early. Jameson was still in bed. So Katie woke up at about like 5 a.m. that day. Jesse and I woke up at about 7 a.m. And Jesse so Katie and I had that walk the first day, but Jesse really wanted to go walk of her own because she noticed these stairs that kind of go up into this wooded area that made her very excited. So I walk us back to where those stairs are, and we go up them, and there's this first one the stairs lead into another one of those like inner city forest areas, which are surprising. So we go up these kind of old seeming, like almost crumbly concrete stairs. And then as you get to the top of the stairs, you look to the left and there's this monument. There's this huge tree growing up one side, one of the only benches I've seen in all of Japan, and this monument. So we go over to it, and it's got this huge sign that's like, yay by yay, and it's all in Japanese. I can't read any of it. So I use ye old Google, and it tells me that it's a monument to some generals that served in the First World War, who were from Matsudo, who ended up in Russia as prisoners of war, and essentially were put in the labor camps and died in Russia. So they had this monument to them that the city keeps and maintains and cleans, and there was fresh flowers on the monument, the whole 9 yards. I didn't go up on it, but I did take a few pictures, just to be respectful, but still be like, oh, this is the thing we saw. And then if you go, there's another set of stairs that goes down, and it's into this kind of like bowl where there's kind of children's playground equipment. So there's a couple of the bars that are at your waist that you can flip around on, which of course I did. And like this play place that you can climb up on that's essentially geometric cubes of bars that you can climb up on and do. And the lowest hanging swings I've ever seen in my life.
You literally had to sit on them with your
They were
feet
like
on the
this
ground,
far off the ground
and your knees up to your tits, and just kind of like move your body back and forth. And then,
and of course there's a bar around the outside of the swings. It's not only to keep, I'm pretty sure like the intended purpose is to keep other kids out of the swing area so you don't kick them in the face, but also like you can't jump off the swings either, which is depressing. But we found kind of there's another way out, but towards the way out were these trees, and hanging from the leaves are these caterpillars that are just having a hard day. They're just hanging, and it looks like you can barely see the thread they're hanging from.
they look like they're floating.
So they just look like they're kind of in the air, like wiggling, and I was like, "Whoa!" So Jesse goes over and immediately is like, "Oh my God, caterpillars!" And is very, very entranced by them and their poor wiggliness. Like I couldn't tell like if they were trying to get like up somewhere.
I think they're building their cocoons
it's
by
like
going up.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, caterpillar life cycles, but they're kind of hanging everywhere. So you have to be careful where you walk up. Like Jessie almost walked into one. I'm like, Jessie,
It would have really ruined his day then.
caterpillar. But she finds one that's on the ground and is immediately like, I will be your best friend.
I played with him for a
picks
while.
up and plays with it for a while and then puts them on the leaf so it'll be fine.
Tell him about that weird, scary, like, forgotten.
Oh, yeah. So I decided to be my terrible, horrid self and open up Pokemon Go. Still looking for Farfetch'd. And, like, the Pokestop for the park is just called Forgotten Playground Equipment. And there is this, like, weird little piece of, like, modern art in the corner that's just dusty and old and just used and kind of crumbly. And I'm like, some Silent Hill crap right there. I don't want to touch that.
And then we walked, on our way back, walked a different way and got some hot Boss Rainbow coffee.
We found a vending machine that had hot coffee in it, and I forgot to use my eyeballs. So when we ordered it, like, Jessie goes to pick it up, and it's just like, it's hot, and she's holding this can of, like, painfully hot coffee, and it's just like, whatever, Shogunai, like, burning her hand off. And then I look and it says Atatakai, which is hot, and it's even red. Like the cold ones say Sumatai and are blue. And this one's clearly red and says hot, and I'm just dumb.
Do you guys remember anything else from day 3? Is that the end of day 3?
I think that's the end of day 3. Though I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because you can either go to the gay district tonight at Tokyo, or you can go to the gay district at Osaka. And I, like, now that I'm looking at it, I think we want to go to the Osaka because it's not only betterly named.
Yeah, what's it named?
So
Buttholes
Tokyo is called Nikro.
Yeah.
Nico.
Osaka's is Doya Macho.
But if it's Doya Macho, doesn't that mean it's mostly like male?
No, it's the whole gay district. So Nikrom is Tokyo's and Doya Macho is Osaka's.
Okay, so there will be lesbian bars.
Yeah, there are lesbian bars, but you get a choice.
I'd like Osaka. I miss Osaka and the people there were really nice.
Yeah, it's...
Plus, I'm tired. We had a busy day. But now that we're not going to the gay district, we can film day 4.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Kayla, are you going to leave me?
No, I'm not going to leave
Did
you.
you think about it today?
No.
Am I being annoying?
You should probably stop